Hi, it's Linda from ALTA Talks, from ALTA Fitness. I'm by myself today doing episode 18, where we're going to talk about what we're doing differently this year for helping our clients to make their visions more clear or their goals more clear for 2022. So the reason why we've done this is because we're just looking at it slightly differently this year, because we've decided to call this year 2022 is your year of health. So we have all been through so much worldwide for the last 2 years now, that we decided that there's been, well, for us in Melbourne here, we've had, well, our studio was closed something like 9 months and 3 days or something like that. So we've had such a change in the way that we've approached our exercise. And in Melbourne, while we were in the lockdowns, there was periods where they would only allow us to exercise 1 hour a day, and then it was 2 hours a day outside of our homes. So we know that so many people have missed out on vital exercise. So I have a bit of a bone with to talk about, because it really does bother me that this has not been a focus. So it's great. We've got the vaccines rolled out. We had our lockdowns, whether we believe they were necessary or not. And we had to get through that year really on our own, because all the talk was about how to avoid COVID, putting the masks on, staying at home. Then when we're going out, distancing ourselves and everything like that. What wasn't talked about was, what are we doing for our exercise and our nutritional health? And we all know now, and I listen to so many different podcasts, and we all know now that exercise and good nutrition helps our immune system. And we are in a state of obesity, particularly here in Australia. JC comes from the States, the same thing. And why is that? And I know I've talked about this before, but it is because over the last 30 odd years, we haven't really looked after our health properly. What we've done is we've got all these manufacturers making food for us, making it quick and easy. However, in the process, they've added many different ingredients into the foods which aren't suitable for our body. And in turn, what that's increased is all this inflammation, putting on weight. And I can't go into all the details. I'm not an expert in it. But, as a layperson, I know my mum always said we were the last of the whole food generations, but she's going to be wrong there, because we and anyone else that I can educate out there, and the many other people who I know that are doing it, it's time for us to change, and we're going to help educate you. So I could go on about it all day, but one of the key things that we want to do this year is look at those goals. Let's have a goal. And we all know that having a goal is great. And we get to New Year's and there's New Year's resolutions, and then they fail, or some people are successful, most people aren't. So we decided, let's try a different approach. What can we do that we can do better? So number one is 2022 is your year of health. I've even started a blackboard at the studio, and people are starting to write down what they would like to achieve. What is their goal? For some, mental health, which thankfully our government is starting to put some investment into that area, because we know that's a particularly bad area. Again, though, with good exercise, good nutrition, hopefully we can minimize those mental health issues. Good sleep, lots of hydration, they can all help, because food can equal your mood. So eat bad food, bad mood, eat good food, good mood. So my other thing is to talk about is this with making a goal. Is it's great to have the SMART acronym, specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and timely. However, we all know that sometimes we're just filling those in just to put something down, to make it specific, make it measurable. But what happens in the end? We don't even revert back to them. We don't look at them again. We just say, oh, yes, this is what we're going to do. Is it enough? It can be enough. Are all of them relevant? I would think not. What can we do to support us making a goal on a piece of paper. So this is where I've come to, because something I've learned in the last lockdown is to do vision board, which I think is awesome. I have one on my wall here that I look at every day. So it's my vision board for where I want to go in the next 3 years. And it'll change, and I can change it every year, but it's beautiful. And I love looking at it because it helps me go, okay, so what do I want to do? What do I want to do with my fitness? How do I feel about my environment? Where do I want to live? What does my home look like? What am I doing with my family? And for me, connection, being connected with my family all the time. I don't have to live in their pocket, but being connected with them is really important. Where do I want to escape to? Where do I want to travel to? Great outdoors. Nature for me is really important. And specifically, there's a big section on here about what I want to do from my work perspective. What am I giving back to the world? So, as I was doing that, I thought, right, what I want to do here now is how do I help that vision board process help my clients achieve their goals? So, I have started something new this year, and I have so far just shared it with one person, but I have several other people in mind that I would like to start it with. And it starts with what I have done. I've even done a new logo for it, saying 2022 Year of Your Health, with ALTA Fitness, is ask a series of questions first. So it's not just what is your goal and how you're going to achieve it. It starts with things with what went well with your health goals last year. What stopped you from achieving maybe your health goals last year? Because we know there was many reasons for it. Where are you now? And what is your starting point? So where is your health at the moment? Where are you starting from? And then also, what would you like to achieve? Maybe it's one or two things. And more importantly, take another step back. What is your why? Now, I know people talk about this all the time, and sometimes it feels a little bit wishy-washy. However, your why is really important. So if I look at my goals, I've got several goals, but for me, there's some things I seem to have got sorted last year, which was awesome. I definitely got my nutrition back on track. And I did that because I'm not an expert at everything. I went to someone else. I went to Changing Habits. And that really connected for me. So you've got to find the person that connects with you. But knowing what your why is really important. And it's not just because my first reaction was, why? Because I want to be healthy. It's not only that, though. My why is that I want to be healthy, strong, able, right into my 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and if I can make it, into my hundreds. That is my why. I want to live to an older age where I am not restricted via illness or a lack of mobility or a lack of energy or endurance. My why is looking at the long term. And we all know that you can't just go, oh, here I am, I'm going to come and do a bit of exercise and I'll do it just this year only, and that's enough. It is a lifelong exercise. Be it the exercise, looking at your nutrition, making sure your sleep's right, and it's just a matter of tweaking all the way through. And lucky for me, I've been on this journey for the good, it might be nearly 8 years now that I've been on this journey about, wow, what exercise has done for me and my change of nutrition has done. And it is amazing, because I feel that at my age, in my late 50s now, that I am fitter, healthier and stronger than I was in my 20s and 30s. And the reason why that is because I've had to put in the effort. It's not an easy thing to do. So I had some goals. So interesting enough, when I first started going to personal training, they sort of asked me what my goal was, and it was to get fitter for skiing. It was a 4-week goal, and it was never touched on again. And I have, during that time, formulated my own goals, and usually they're just in my head. But what I found is that when I write it down somewhere, anywhere, the fact that I've written it down helps me to actually achieve it. And I always, ever since I was young, I've always had a bit of a vision in my head where I want to get to in life. And it's funny because I look back at those visions and I am achieving them today, which is awesome. Not everything, but most things. I wanted to have a beautiful old home, and lucky me, yes, I have one. And I wanted to have a new car, and lucky me, I've had several new cars. I wanted to keep slim, trim, taut, and terrific. And I might not be exactly all of those things, but I am great for my age. And I have to say, I tell myself that, and it's not like a gloating thing. This is for me. It's personal and it's for me and it's how I feel. I am great for my age. And that's what I want to be. I want to be saying I'm great for my age when I'm 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And by saying that, it helps me get there. I was just telling a client the other day how I always, when someone asks me how I feel, I say I'm good. And I've always thought that. And this is many years ago, probably about 20 years ago. I remember thinking to myself, you know what? If I say I'm good, I will be good. And that was just something that I've done. And I still continue this to this day. And it's rarely a day that I am sick. So, and I'm digressing a bit. And because I'm on my own today, I'm probably going to do that. There's no one to keep me on track. And you know me, I can talk 100 miles an hour. Also, as I am always late in mentioning, if you've got a comment to make while you're listening to this or you want to make a comment later on, put it in the comment section and I will get back to you. So, getting back to where we were. Writing these things down really does make a difference. So we've looked at what the health goals were last year. Did you achieve them? And if you didn't achieve them, why? Where are you now? What is your starting point? What is your why? Maybe your why is that you want to run around with your kids. Maybe your why is because you want to go you still want to be hiking in years to come. Maybe your why is that you don't want to be one of those people who can't get out of their chairs without a tilting chair. You know, you're going to be that person who can bounce out of their chair no matter what age they are. And then let's look at one of those things that, you know, what would I like to achieve? Maybe it's one thing and maybe it's more. So goals are often not just one thing, and sometimes we have to break it down. So if you want to lose weight, there may be several ways of going around doing that. So one, obviously, nutrition. It's the number one thing. If you want to lose weight, I don't care how much exercise you do, it's not going to get the same results as looking at your nutrition. If your nutrition is already spot on and you're wanting to lose weight, I'd sort of be surprised, because if you've got good nutrition, you should be at a good weight for your body type and for your age. And when we're looking at losing weight, what exercise are you doing? And then there's all the other factors. Are you sleeping well? How's your stress levels and things like that? So there may be several different things that you have to work through to reach that goal of losing weight. Why do you want to lose weight? I don't know, but I'll have a guess at some of them. They may be that I just know when I'm 5 kilos lighter, I feel so much better. It might be, I know that if I don't lose weight, my doctor's told me I'm going to be a diabetic. Or it might be, I have to go in for an operation. I've been told to lose weight or I can't have that operation. So where does that leave me? I have to lose weight. So it could be for something quite basic to something that's more major and long-term, that you have a goal. And your goals may be anywhere from losing a couple of kilos, which has taken me 10 days to lose my kilo weight from being away on holidays and eating too much bread. And that only took me 10 days to get myself back on track, to losing 5 kilos. That might take you 6 weeks to 2 months. To losing 10 kilos, again, you might be looking at a couple of months, and depends how disciplined you are or undisciplined you are, and you're just making some tweaking changes. It could take a year. Now, I know someone who's lost 17 kilos in over a year, which is just awesome. But she's taken it by the horns, and she's changed her diet, and she's loving it, and she's enjoying herself, and she's changing her clothes, and her exercise is better. That has taken 12 months. So losing weight doesn't happen overnight. It is a bit of a chore. And also losing weight, number one favorite, is that we have to do it along with exercise. So you've got to be moving. So you can lose all that weight, that's great, but then how's your muscle tone afterwards? How is your strength? How is your stability? How is your endurance? Because you can lose all this weight, but you can't walk up the street because you still don't have good cardiovascular health, or you can't pick up that rubbish bin because you don't have muscle strength. So exercise is absolutely a must along with your nutrition. And then there's sleep and there's hydration as well. So when we break down those goals, let's break them down so that there's different things that we need to look at. So that's what our plan is. It's not just a matter of I want to lose these kilos. Okay, let's just go do a bunch of exercise. We know that's not going to work. So we want to work with our clients to achieving that. Then we ask them, this is the key point, then we ask them they take home this paper And then we ask them to sit down, close your eyes, and visualize what that will look like for you in 6 to 12 months' time. So, my visualization when I was wanting to lose weight was, how was I going to look in my shorts down at the beach? And it, you know what? It wasn't a size thing that I was looking at, even though I knew I wanted to lose weight and reduce my size. It was actually me smiling and feeling great on the beach. It was the feeling as well. So it's not just how we look, it's how we feel. So we have to look a little bit deep inside ourselves. And it is a deeper dive into this, because sometimes it's pretty confronting. Sometimes we sort of get lost in it. It's like, oh, it's just all so much hard work. Why not have this vision of the joy that you will feel, or the freedom that you will feel, or the comfort that you will feel by reaching that goal? And it may be, for example, if you've got a goal that you want to, run a marathon, because this is something you've wanted to do all your life. It's you coming down at the end of the marathon, hands up in the air, excited. That feeling, feel it. Because when you do it, it's like they always say, like, I think it's Tony Robbins, he says before he goes on stage, he does, he gets up there and he goes, oh, yes, I can do this. I'm great. See, I already feel great of myself. So anyway, there you go. I'm my crazy old self. But it is really important that not only can you visualize something, but what is that feeling that you'll have at the end of that as well? And what do you feel along the way? It might be short-term goals. Like I said, if the goal is to lose weight, it may be that there's little snippets along the way that you have to thinking about when you feel stronger, or when you have that endurance, and wow, just that wow moment. Wow, I just feel so much better for it. And it might be little, and it might be big emotion. Then I've got in here, do you believe now that you can do this? And a lot of people go, sort of, I can believe it. So what do we need to do to make you believe it? It's having those visions. And then we have to get started. You got to get started. We don't really know, but if we have a really positive mindset, instead of we go, I think it's about a 3, you might as well just walk back out the door, because you're not in the right mindset. Maybe you've got to work on your inside versus your outside. I think I've talked about this before as well. And then my other thing is, who is your support? Who do you need to support you? So this is a really key, important point, because they're doing this for us. We're asking you, what are your goals for the year? And we can't be with you as a personal trainer. We maybe only see you for half an hour to 3 hours a week. So we're not going to be there to 100% support you. Maybe we can. Maybe if you say to us, we would like you to be part of that support team, could you send me a text each Friday and check in on how I'm going? Could you help me with my shopping list this week? Something, I've run out of ideas. Maybe that's where I'm your support person, or our personal trainer is your support person. There's other people, your family. Now, we often hear that you want to lose weight, but your family aren't there to support you. So maybe you need to sit down with your family and you need to say to them, this is what I want to achieve this year, and I would love it if you could help me with that support. So maybe they want to come on the journey with you and change their nutritional. Why not get everybody else on board? Get them excited about what it could be or feel like for them to be their most fittest, healthiest self. And then you've got a friend. Maybe you've got a friend who's there to help you. Who is it that's on your team now? Who is it that is the person that you would go to at any time? So I have been writing down, I have 2 key people with some other people that are around that. My 2 key people are JC, husband, partner in crime, work, and my sister Erica. I know that at any time, if I'm to say to them, this is what I want to achieve, I know they're going to be there to support me. They're not going to say, oh, good luck with that, you're not going to achieve that. I know they're going to say, well, what are you going to do about it, Lynn? What is it that you can do that can help me to achieve that? So it's really, really interesting. But they come up every single time. Every single time I read something, or every time I think that I've got an issue, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I've got my sister and JC on my back. but I don't have necessarily everybody else. But they're my people. They're the ones, and I should have turned my phone off because that was my daughter on the phone. They're my people to support me. And outside of that, I also have some other people who I love talking to. So sometimes it's a client actually, because we bounce off each other and we get excited because we're both on the same journey, or we've got stories to tell. And I learn just as much from my clients as they can learn from me. So there are a couple of clients who I really enjoy talking to about these things, who are on the same wavelength as me. There's also people who may not be quite on the same wavelength as me now, but as their journey progresses, we get excited talking to each other. And I get just as excited for them when they start reaching their goals, or I see them moving in that direction and seeing those little changes, because I see them every week and I can actually go, wow, look, what have you been doing? Your skin's looking great, your eyes are sparkling, or hey, today you had so much energy in your session. Like, that's just amazing. So who are your support team? Write them down. Write down who those support team people are and talk to them. Let them know what you're doing. Don't go to the naysayers. Don't go to those people who say, oh, good luck with that, or I'll see you at the end of the year and see how you're actually tracking with those goals. Yeah, right. So stay away from them. Have people around you who are going to support you. And importantly, my last one is, how will I celebrate along the way and at the end of the year? So there's the little wins that we can say, wow, I just am feeling so great that I'm just feeling better in myself. So celebrate that. And it doesn't have to be celebrate, go out, get a food and a bottle of wine or something like that. It can just be a simple, wow, I just love that. How about we go get a cup of coffee together, have a chat, and just celebrate that little win about how you're going. And let's talk about where we're going to next. How are we going to be progressing as we go along? Do that with a friend. Do it with me. Do it with a personal trainer. And also have that end of year goal. So I had in my vision board that one of the things that I wanted to do, because as I've got healthier and stronger and I've fitting back into my clothes, I thought, you know what? I just want to buy a new dress. I'm going to wear more dresses this year, and I'm going to wear my high heels when I go out, and I'm going to not sit here in my gym clothes, work clothes for me all the time. I'm going to buy myself a new dress. And I did, and I wore it on New Year's Eve, and I'm very happy that I did, and I felt great about it. And that was just my little thing. It doesn't have to be expensive. It wasn't an expensive dress, but it was a win for me and a little bit of acknowledgement for myself, just to go, yeah, I'm happy with how I ended my year. So that's where we're going this year with our clients. If you'd like to know more about this, and if you'd like to see my sheet, I'm always happy to share it with anybody who wants to see how I've been putting this together. And it's not just there. We just don't stop with that sheet, because my plan is that we will be touching base every month with those clients who are choosing to get on this journey with us, really be focused, dedicated, and willing to open themselves up. Sometimes we have to be a little bit vulnerable when we put ourselves in these positions, when we've got these goals. So some people I can't even tell my goals to, but there's other people I can share them with. So again, you find those people you can share them with, and then what I'm going to be is I'm going to be touching point and going, so how are we going to this? This was your goal this year. Now I've broken, for example, this one that we've broken down, losing 5 kilos. How are you going to feel if you lose them? So if I'm going to lose those 5 kilos, I'm going to feel healthier. I'm going to feel more energized. I'm going to feel more confident. What are the actions to those? So, for example, we're doing a 10-day healthy food challenge. Really just eating healthy foods, no processed foods, no takeaway foods. It's just a challenge with our clients to eat good, nutritious food for 10 days. And I can tell you, there's going to be times maybe in those 10 days, if you're eating a lot of processed foods, that you're not going to feel as good as you'd like to, maybe a headache, maybe some fatigue. Sometimes there's even people who can get a bit of a rash. That's your body telling you it's detoxing. But at the 10 days, they're just going to feel better about themselves. Those symptoms will disappear, and they're just eating good, healthy, nutritious food. So that's one of the things that, for many of our clients, that's how they'll be starting February. And then what's their other goal? Maybe it's to come to the session. I know quite a few of our clients this year have got a new goal. They're coming twice a week, so their goal is to come 3 times a week because they've got some specific things that they want to achieve. Now, that's not for everybody. For me, I've got my own little goals. I've got 5 different exercise or activities that I'm doing during a week. So it's putting those down. So again, we're breaking down. Goal 1 is to lose some weight, and we're going to do that through nutrition. Goal 2, sleep better. We can do that through our exercise and our nutrition. So let's have a look about how we're going to do that, and let's track that. And then goal 3 is I'm going to come into the gym 3 times a week, and I'm going to commit to it. And I'm going to make sure that I'm there. And if I have to cancel, I'm going to do a makeup at another time. So it is a focus. But by having those goals written down, you'd be amazed at just how much that's going to help you achieve them. And then when we add on that vision, and another one can be writing down your intentions. So you could have a weekly intention. Sorry, I missed that one. That also helps. So it is, and I'd say that with a big deep breath because I've just dumped a whole heap of information on there at the moment for you. It's really interesting how if we put all these things together, you've got a greater chance of success than you've ever had before. If you just go to your trainer and you say, my goal is this, and you haven't written it down yourself and they're writing it down for you and not you, you're putting the accountability onto somebody else. If you write them down, if you go through the process about what your why is, how you're going to get there, work with somebody who are your support team and do your little check-ins and celebrate through the year, at the end of the year, then your chances of success are far greater. So I've waffled on a lot today, but I hope you've learned something about this because it is something I'm very passionate about. As you all know, that's why we have a fitness business. This is why we do ALTA Talks, because we get to share all these things with everybody else. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very excited about our ALTA Talks number 19. I actually have Michelle Wright, everyone calls her Mish, or she's known as Mishfit, is joining us for our next ALTA Talks, so episode number 19. Now, Mish, I have actually done a course with her. I did my pre- and postnatal course with her last year. I've known about her for many years. Jean-Claude has done some work with her, and she was actually the Fitness Australia, or now known as Oz Active, Educator of the Year. So Mish has been in the industry for over, I think it's, quote me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's about 30 years she's been in the industry. She started as, well, she's been a teacher, and then she got into fitness. She had her own fitness business, and as life has progressed, she's gone into the education piece of it. So I can tell you her courses are really great, easy to understand, thorough. So I'm very excited to be talking to her. And more recently, she's now with COTA, which is the COTA Victoria is the government body that is there to help our ageing population on all sorts of things. But Mish's role, along with another person is in Victoria, is to help promote COTA Victoria. Now, we do a Living Longer, Living Stronger class, and we have done so, I think it must be near on 4 years as well. And she's very passionate about that. So we have an aging population. She will be so much fun to talk to. She's bright, she's bubbly, and thoroughly looking forward to listening to her. So just to end this off, if you have any questions, like I said, post a comment for me, send me a message. Love to hear what you've got to say about this one. And if you've got anything else that you would like to hear from us, write it down, send me a note. I'd love to hear from you. So I am going to say goodbye now. It's a bit shorter than our normal one. I've managed to do this in a whole 30 minutes. So hope you enjoyed it, and I will look forward to seeing you soon.